Happy Thursday or Friday, Connectivity Source. We are back again for the weekly newsletter. Hope you guys are having a great week. As always, I am going to cross post this on the source. There is a library where you can access all older episodes of the meeting guide. So make sure you check it out. There's actually references to previous meeting guides in these pages today, and you may need to refer back to a couple of documents that are out there. So, team, what's going on right now? First of all, I just got a late breaking message before I went on tonight for our managers. I want to make sure that they understand that we need to make sure that we confirm the email that Robbie Willis just sent out to the field that confirms where managers worked in the month of April. This is for commissions purposes, so it's obviously really, really important. We want to make sure that we get everybody's pay done correctly. Next, audit has been a huge issue or a huge discussion for the last couple of weeks, and it really remains so as we head into the upcoming week and this weekend. We believe that we're still on track for audits within the next week to 10 days. So you should take that into account as you look about your store. Obviously, we're going into the weekend. Not going to see auditors this weekend, but as we start to put our plans together for next week, it's very important that we take the time to do additional audits on those items that we need to audit, especially demo devices. And I've got a page in here actually on that I'll share with you in just a moment. So I'm not going to go into a great deal of detail. I will let you know, though, that for those of you who are using real time, there is an audit option that you can choose along with some other opening and closing checklists, which also sort of support the audit process. CS Nation, we're ranked 17th right now. What in the heck? Are you as outraged as me? You know CS is the number one company in the country for Sprint. Number one in the country, yet we're currently ranked 17th. And we're below a lot of the company averages right now. Let's take a look at that. Our vision of good, we outlined it from day one. Our handset gross ads, we want to be 110% to target. We are currently at 86% to target. So we're well below where we need to be for handset gross ads. That means handset gross ads are a big focus item for us as we head into the weekend. Now, one of the things that we've always prided ourselves on is if we did not hit these targets, we were at least above the channel average. And in almost every single measurable this month, we are lower than the company average, than Sprint's company average. Meaning not only were we ranked 17th, but we're also worse than the average of all of the companies in the country. So this is a space where we want to see some improvement. Handset gross ads, obviously. Walkaway ads, or walkaway calls. Folks, we've had 23 leads expire this month. 23 leads. Let me give you an idea. About 30% of the leads that we're calling are coming back into the store and purchasing from us. 23. So that means 6, 7 possible additional customers this month purchasing 3 to 5 devices. So I'll let you do the math on that. There's a lot of GP that we miss out by not finishing off our walkaway calls. So let's make sure we do that. The out-of-line rate at 15%, we're missing that as well. We are above the company average here, but we're at 9.1% as opposed to 7.5%, which means we've got to make sure that we're at 90% MBA. Folks, 90% MBA is the benchmark that we have set for ourselves. It's not what Sprint has set. We want to be at 90%. Right now, our offer rate on MBA is 58%. That means for every customer that has an MBA offer available, or every customer that we touch and go into RMS with, we are only checking 58% of the time what they have available in MBA. Now, why is that important? Because there are $200 out-of-line offers available to your customers right now, and you're not catching them. If a customer has multiple lines on the account, you should check all the lines on the account to see if there's an out-of-line offer on one of the other lines on the account, and also to make sure you fulfill all MBA offers that are out there. So if we're only checking 58%, 42% of those customers are not even finding out that they might have an out-of-line offer. And our close rate on those out-of-line offers is like 25%. So 1 in 4 of those customers that we present a $200 out-of-line offer to is buying. which is why you see our applied rate at 72%. Because when we are offering MBA, a lot of customers are saying yes to what we're offering them, and we're applying an offer. So, folks, you want to increase out of line to 15%, get in MBA. Every opportunity you have when a customer's in front of you making a bill payment, check MBA. When they're in there asking about how to get a phone fixed, check MBA. You need to check MBA every time. There's offers in there that might make this customer want to purchase from you, might make them want to upgrade, might make them want to add a line. Check it every single time, 90%. Every single time we need to do this. Team, our bounce rate. We're not well above the enterprise here, but the enterprise is sucking too. 33.8% for the enterprise. We're at 34%, so we're really only a couple percentage points higher than them. But 34% is terrible. That means a third of our customers who come into our store are having to call care within 30 days. Again, these are sales that we're going to miss out on because we're not doing our jobs to make sure that those customers don't bounce. So let's work to get bounce rates down below 25%. I've got some ideas for you here that have come out of a couple meetings I've had with Derica and the rest of the management team. So we'll cover those in a minute. Non-handset revenue. Guys, we're almost $6 less than the enterprise right now in non-handset revenue. And we're nowhere near our 110% target. So that means we're not selling Sprint Complete enough. That means we're not selling enough VAS. It means we're not selling enough tablets with the best unlimited plan out there. It's still the best unlimited plan this weekend, guys. Last weekend it was great because we were giving away tablets. This weekend the customer has to pay $100 for an iPad. Big whip. That iPad is worth $400 or $500. So they pay us $100 to get an iPad, and you can still offer them the best unlimited plan in wireless. And it goes a long way in helping your non-handset revenue numbers. Folks, we went about 98% as far as our mock audits went. Because audits haven't come in, you should continue to audit this week. Do another mock audit. Continue to audit your stores this week to make sure you're ready for somebody to walk through the door. You want to know up front that you're going to get a 90% or higher on that audit. And then our accessory GP per box, we're currently at $22 a box against a target of 25 to 30. It's 30 on here. We've got 25 in other places, so I know there's a little bit of a mixed message there. But regardless, we are not hitting it. We're below average. If it's 25, we're 15% off. If it's $30, we're way the hell off. So accessory GP has to be a focus. It should be a focus item for anybody who gets paid on GP. That's all of you guys. So we'll talk about that and some ways to move forward with that in a second. Guys, I've got 5 slides here that are going to be sales related, and then it's going to be some operations stuff that I'm going to blow through. And I've got a slide that at the very end of this, it's not a slide, it's a video from my buddy Rob Gordon telling you some of the things that we need to watch for discretionary credits. So we got 8 sales days left in the month of May. How do we turn the tide? How do we get ourselves above 17th? Guys, we want to get into the top 10. We want to get into the top 5, but let's focus on getting into the top 10 right now, this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, when we make our money and we make our charge. So from Derica, their number one complaint, maximize downtime. Too much downtime in the stores, and we're not doing anything. I was talking to somebody today and telling them there's not a minute of my time that I don't have something to do. And folks, if you don't feel that way when you're in your store, first of all, how boring. Do you really want to stand around and stare at your phone screen? Are you serious? You could do that at home. If you want to be home, be at home. If you're going to be at work, be at work. So let's maximize our downtime. So how do we maximize some downtime? How about targeted marketing offers? Now, that may require us to get out of our stores, but before we get outside of our stores, we figure out what targeting means. What are we going to target? Within a half mile to a mile of your store, I promise you, you have 4 to 5 businesses that are SmartWorks eligible. You've got a Chick-fil-A. You've got a Target. You've got a Walmart. You've got a McDonald's. You've got a Burger King. These are all SmartWorks, SprintWorks businesses, meaning they're eligible for discounts. They're eligible for hundreds of dollars up front when they purchase a device. depending upon which company we're talking about. If you need some help understanding what offers are available, ask for it. But identify the businesses you want to target, and if you don't know the offers, reach out to your district manager. You can call me, you can call your director. I promise you there's nobody in this company that won't take your call when you're taking proactive action to find business. So let's work on who we're going to target, and let's target them this week. We had a fantastic offer, and this is a reference to last week for Walgreens customers. Customers of Walgreens are eligible for a SprintWorks offer, and they're eligible for gift cards basically to Walgreens. And who couldn't use that? Those guys have everything. So take a look at the Walgreens offer. If you're not comfortable with it, it was in last week's offer. Flip over to the library and the source under meeting guides, and it'll be under last week's date. Find referrals and reduce bounce by doing follow-up calls. Guys, this is a really big hot button issue for me. When I was a manager of a retail store, there's nobody that would buy a phone in my store that I didn't know about. There might be days when I wasn't there and a customer bought something, but there would never be a customer that I did not talk to. I talked to every single customer that purchased a device from me. Why wouldn't you want to do that? So you need to make those follow-up calls, guys. You need to make those follow-up calls in 3 to 5 days because those customers have questions that you didn't answer at the point of purchase, like when their bill is going to come and what to expect on that first bill and who to call if they have a question about the bill. So you're heading off at the pass any issues in terms of mega issues that might pop up as far as credits. You're addressing the bounce issue by doing this, and the last part you're going to do is you're going to get a referral from that customer. Mr. Customer, I know that you've had a fantastic experience with me from the conversation we've just had. I'm glad we were able to help you. Now, I need you to help me. Do you mind helping me by helping me find additional people who might want to do business with me? We are the best value in wireless. Don't you want your friends to also have the least expensive bill just like you? So help me find them and connect with those people. Bring them into a Sprint Says Thanks event. Bring them to my store, and I can teach you how to pay for your first and second bill. Complete all walkaway calls and Salesforce calls. Guys, this is a matter of pride. We are not completing our calls. These are numbers that are given to us of our customers that are eligible for offers. And yes, we may only close 10 to 15% of our Salesforce calls, but you close 0% of Salesforce calls that you don't make. And this needs to be more than a check in the box. This needs to be we're calling until we can't call anymore because we've hit our max or they've answered the phone. Not a we called them once, check in the box, move on to the next one. We need to see some passion with this. Where there's passion, there's sales. And then I'm going to show you a quote sheet that Jason identified as something we want to start to use right away. And it is a fantastic tool. And here it is. You guys should have this in your store right now. Sorry, guys, I do not have a cough button, and I'm yelling, apparently. This sheet should be used every time you talk to a customer. You should have them at every register in your store, and here's the reason why. We are missing opportunities to add lines of service. When we see Connectivity Source adding lines of service for new accounts at 2.1 versus the enterprise adding at 2.4, that means that we have other companies that are adding more lines when we are not adding more lines. So how do we add more lines? We make sure we give the customer the full story. And by the way, your customers will love the fact that you're taking the time to show them this, that you're going over everything with them, and you're making sure you're not rushing them. You're making sure they understand everything there is to understand about their bill. You're making sure they understand everything of what to expect as far as Sprint Complete, how much their device is going to cost, what the term of the device is, what the accessories are that they're going to purchase today, if they've got an account spending limit, what that looks like. You're going to go through every last thing with them, and they are going to love it. They're going to know exactly what to expect. And when you know exactly what to expect, what happens? You reduce churn. You reduce calls to NSS. You increase referrals. All of those things build business, and that's what we want to do. This is the second half of this. By the way, select stores, the GST tool, by the way, ding, 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 that's what you're looking at right here. This is what the GST tool is. We are using GST 3% of the time. If GST helps us sell more phones, we need to use GST more, and we need to start now. So there's a great quote I got on here. Obviously, it's not my quote, so Benjamin Franklin. When you're finished changing, you're finished. So, guys, we're not finished. We're not finished with May, and we're certainly not finished as a company. So let's change the way we're doing things right now. Let's commit today in our meetings that we're going to change what we're doing in the last 8 days, that we're going to go all out to get those sales so that we can finish in the top 10 in the country on the scorecard, that we can improve our standings as far as handset gross ads, that we can improve our gross profit and drive more commissions down to our frontline employees. This is really, really important. Let's commit right now that we're going to get this done. Accessories, man, I got to tell you what, I love the guys in the inventory department and what they have done with this accessory bundle. Now, we had an accessory bundle that I rolled out and been talking about for a couple weeks now. We still got the Gear 4 contest. Sorry, I don't have any results for that in here. Look for that on the source. I'll try to publish something tomorrow or today if you're listening to this Friday. But what I do want to make sure you know is that we've got one of the greatest accessory bundles that we got. And the best thing, the reason why it's so great is that because it's pretty much anything you've got. Pretty much any case you've got and pretty much any screen protector you've got, bunch them together, $60, easy money. And the GP on that is typically going to be right around $42. Guys, that's easy. That is an easy pitch, and it's something you've got to talk to customers about. You know, Mr. Customer, if you come back next week, you can get this glass screen protector for your device for $40. But if you buy today, I'll get you a case and a glass protector, and it's only $60. Make sure you're offering this every time. Guys, you're not going to sell any if you don't offer it. So let's commit again to this, that we're going to increase our accessory GP by committing to offering the bundle offers that we've got available. Guys, this is the low-hanging fruit slide that came out of a pretty lengthy review call that Connectivity Source had with our IPOMs in Houston yesterday, or today rather. There is a lot of stuff to look at here. I am not going to read every single one of these to you. Say thank you. These are the low-hanging fruit items on the audit forms. These are the low-hanging fruit items that we have to check every single day. It seems like it's a lot of stuff, and what we do have to understand is some of this stuff is select based only, and some of it is PR based only. But things like making sure we have our CPNI taken care of, and when you start using forms like these, you got to be careful about creating CPNI. So make sure you're not creating more CPNI than you're supposed to, and that you're generating and you're shredding what you need to, or filing it in an appropriate place so that it's not laying out and somebody can't take care of it. There's tons of items on here. Checking out your demo devices is obviously part of it. I'm not going to read all of this to you. It's all here for you to take a look at. If I was a manager of a retail store, I would go line by line on this every day, at least until audits are done, and make sure that we're squared away until we're absolutely 100% sure we've got this thing committed to memory and we know we're good to go. No reason for any of our stores to be below 80% audits. Absolutely none. 90% should be our target, and right now we've got some locations that are going to be listed right now that are not going to be at 80%. So let's make sure we do what we can do, especially in our downtime, so that we're not having an issue with audits. All right, guys, as you probably know, I do have a lot to do with real time. So I want to tell you what's going on with real time right now. And the first thing I want to tell you is that I posted a video this week, and it is right here. Under Action on Demand, it was done on the 21st. So make sure you take a look at that. The Action on Demand items allow you, if you don't have an activity and you want to create your own activity, you can create a deposit activity. So if for some reason the scheduled deposit activity doesn't show up, you still can create your own, which is why this is in red down here. Deposits are required every day. You need to document your deposits every single day. Whether there's a scheduled item or not has nothing to do with it. You still need to document your deposits, and you can do that by doing the Action on Demand. And the Action on Demand training is right here for you to look at. It's about 5 minutes long. Other items that are available under Action on Demand, you can create audits for your stores. You can do opening and closing checklists. You can document givebacks. And leading into that, within the next week, I expect to have the wraps on buyback, giveback real-time training, which is where we'll start to document all buybacks and givebacks. So as soon as I'm sure we've got that training all sealed up and ready to go, it's about 75% baked. Got to bring in some other folks to make sure it meets everybody's standards, and that will be most likely in Paycom, something everybody will have to take, and then we'll start to launch the program. One of the items I wanted to put in here, not to be a Debbie Downer on real time, but we had an update last week, and a lot of you did not update or have no clue what I'm talking about right now because you haven't done the update. But I have had some stores reach out to me this week that have indicated they're having some problems in real time with the update. It seems to be isolated to iPads that are on 10.4 or lower. 10.4 is supposed to be a no problem issue for Lotus Realtime, so I will have an answer on this, and I will post the answer to this on the source on Friday. Guys, I wanted to drop a couple notes in here real quick about Credit ID, which is a program that I missed somehow. I'm sure most of you know about it, but we're averaging about 24% usage as a company when we could be in about the 70% range. So Credit ID is a program that was added to iConnect where you can have a review of a customer's credit done without having to place a call. The benefit to you as an employee is it reduces your time on the telephone. And by all accounts, the use of this tool reduces an interaction for a customer by 5 minutes, which is no small thing. Reducing wait times for our customers is a big deal. It's something we definitely want to do. And Credit ID allows us to do that. So Credit ID is on iConnect under Tools and Forms. If you need additional information on this, I'm actually going to post a document on this to source as well that's got sort of how to use Credit ID if you're not familiar with it. By the way, if you're not familiar with it, I'd love you to post some comments in the source below this thing and let me know that you knew about it, didn't know about it, or what. Maybe I'm just a dum-dum. Well, depends upon who you ask. I could be a dum-dum for sure. In that I missed this, but if I didn't miss it, and there's a lot of other people that missed it too, I'd love to hear that so that we know that we need to take additional training steps here. So guys, that's all I've got for today. I have tacked on a video of Rob Gordon. And if you guys don't know who Rob Gordon is, he's a fantastic guy. He got back from a well-deserved trip from Cabo about 4 or 5 days late because he got stuck in Houston because of the weather there. And he manages the discretionary credit program. So any of you, if you have done discretionary credits, you've talked to Rob. Any of you who have had customer issues have talked to Rob. Rob talks to some of the angriest customers we have, and they're not angry because of anything he did. He's one of the nicest people you can run into. Take a minute to listen to what he has to say or some of the issues that we're seeing regularly currently for credits, and that will start right after this. So thank you guys so much. Have a fantastic weekend. Let's take positive steps today to change our standing as a company. CS does not belong at number 17. We belong in the top 10. We belong in the top 5. We belong in that number 1 spot. So let's do it this weekend. Let's get it done. Guys, have a great day, and take it away, Rob.
All right, Rob. We were on camera. Hey, you turned around. I thought you'd seen it. All right, Connectivity Source. I'm here with my man, Rob Gordon.
What's going on?
And we work together on the discretionary credit programs. Rob does a lot of the heavy lifting. He gets a lot of those emails and responds back to you guys. And we wanted to touch base with you and let you know some of the things that we're seeing on a regular basis right now, so that you can avoid them and prevent from having to reach out to us. So, Rob, tell me a couple of things that you're seeing right now that are problems with discretionary credit.
Okay, so we got 3 big things. The first one is the lookout and the safe and found.
Speaking of the mic, Rob.
Oh, let me get this. let me get this. So we got the lookout and safe and found. So the issue is that a lot of customers are now realizing this is a 30-day free trial. So we have a lot of customers saying like, hey, I thought this was only going to charge me one time and that's it.
Okay.
So now we're actually have to post credits like 2 or 3 months later. So we need to make sure that we emphasizing that, hey, it's going to be 2 to 3 months.
Perfect.
Not 2 or 3 months, but only 30 days. That's it.
That's right. And then you said there's something with rate plans that you've seen a lot.
Yeah, so this is something brand new that just came up and I haven't seen this before, but it's been showing up for probably about the past 2 weeks. We're basically seeing customers having 2 separate rate plans on their account. So
like a 5-line deal with 2 lines that are on one plan and 3 lines that are on another plan.
So you'll see somebody correct. So you'll see somebody on the Everything Data Share plan, and then you'll see somebody on the Unlimited Freedom plan. I'm not sure the reason why that's happening.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're calling NSS, customer care, what's going on, but something's happening that we just been seeing that a lot.
Some type of account change is happening that we're basically responsible for.
Right.
And the customer is not aware of the exactly what's occurring.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, and that's actually costing us a lot because some of these rate plans, if you do the math, you're looking about over $100 easily. And then if they have multiple lines, you're talking about hundreds. So that's another big thing.
Okay, perfect. And then there's one other thing that we talked about with rate plans. Tell us what you're saying with that.
So the last one is basically, we need to make sure that we're putting the customer on the correct Unlimited Freedom plan. You know, we got the basic and then we got the premium, Unlimited Premium.
That's right.
So we have some customers.
Best value in wireless.
Yeah, exactly. So we have some customers that are being put on the premium plan and they're like, hey, Rob, I'm supposed to be put on the basic plan. So we have to switch them over. That could take a month because, you know, we can't start at that same exact day. They have to start at the bill cycle. So we need to make sure that we put them on the correct plan. And probably definitely the best thing to do is make sure that when you do go over the rate plan with the customer, tell them 2 or 3 times exactly what they're getting. So then if we, you know, we look at Envision, we're able to say, hey, these, you know, we did, ma'am, sir, we were able to look at the video and we did talk about your rate plan about 2 to 3 different times. And then that showed that we're not responsible for it.
That's right. And just so you guys know, Rob spends a lot of time looking at video to basically back up the fact that you did what you were supposed to do. So help us out by making sure you do what needs to be done up front. And I've got 2 things that I want to add on to what that will help. Thank you. You speak directly to this, Mike. Hey, I want to speak to the Cabo, Mike, actually, because that's where I want to go next year. I want to go to Cabo next year. 2 other items that will help you with this. First of all, we have quote sheets that have gone out to the field. And the quote sheets have line by line some of the items that we need to talk about. We know when you get in a hurry and you're talking to a customer, you forget some stuff sometimes. So that quote sheet's in place to help us with that. And it also helped with some of the problems with Safe and Found to make sure we're having that conversation with the customer and they're not feeling like we slammed them by just adding it to their account. And then we're talking about the rate plans and we're confirming that they understand exactly what rate plan they're getting. And there's one other thing. What's the one other thing, Rob? I should know this right off the top of my head.
Man,
I'm the one that's I know what it is. What is it? What do we need to add to every single account, Rob?
Oh, we got to make sure we add the email addresses.
That's right. And Rob, why should you not put no@noemail.com?
Because the customer will not get any type of communication if there's a change that was made on their account.
That's right. So we were talking about how there's a problem with people with 5 lines having 2 lines on one plan and 3 lines on another plan. And we changed it. So if we have the correct email address on their account, what should happen is they should get an email, correct?
Right, exactly.
But if their email address is no@noreply.com,
no communication.
They're not going to get anything.
Nothing at all.
All right, so let's do it right. We'll do it right the first time, and then you won't have to deal with Rob. He won't have to rough you up.
Yeah. Well, I'm the good cop. He's the bad cop.
Okay, I won't have to rough you up. No more credits!
Yeah. See you guys later. Be good.
Thanks, buddy.